Good evening, Patrick Sheriff here with the NaNoWriMo news. Not really, it's day 18, I'd had hoped to write loads and loads of words today, but I didn't. I did my 25 minutes and I think I got about 500 words, and then I thought, you know what, I feel like a bike ride, and it being Sunday, that's what I did. Went for a bike ride. I know you should treat this like a job and show up and do the work and everything, and I did. I showed up and I did the work and I wrote a bit, and it was pretty good. The key again to writing well or quickly is to have an idea about what you're going to write and be interested in it. For me, that meant, well, I knew the situation that Hannah Walker was in, and I thought of a few funny little. I don't want to talk too much about it, but I thought of a few funny little asides that Hannah could have, and that made it fun to write. But I just found myself a bit knackered, and I thought, you know what, Sunday, I won't push myself, because I'm just maybe 50 words shy of 40,000. So that's just another 10,000 words to go, which, if I'm going at a normal speed of a pro writer, which is, I don't know how much people write, but sort of like 2,000 words a day is sort of a sort of standard. Well, that'll be 5 days. That'll be 1 week's work to finish the first draft, to get to 50,000 words. So I thought I wouldn't be pushing myself too hard. I've got plenty of time, but not too much. I mean, that's the thing about NaNoWriMo. It's I don't know if we're all amateurs doing it. In a sense, I'm an amateur because I don't make much money from my work. But in another sense, we're all professionals now, or we all can be, with Amazon and Kobo and everybody else, and Apple. You can self-publish. You can publish the book yourself for virtually zero cost. A lot of time, but it's not like the old days with Vanity Press. So anybody can be a publisher. You just need to, need to learn how to upload it and stuff. And there are various, well, many things to learn, but it's not rocket science. So anybody can be a publisher. So anybody can publish. And a lot of people do. And there's a bit of sort of sniffy snobbery about all this. Ooh, oh, you're not good enough and so on. Yeah, probably 90% of everything is rubbish, but then 90% of all things are rubbish. 90% of published books are rubbish. I mean, by professional, or how could we put it, traditional publishers. 90% of their stuff is rubbish. So don't let that stop you. There's a tsunami of rubbish there may well be. But okay, so if that's true, if 90% of everything you publish is rubbish, then you better write 10 books. One of them's going to be good. So yes, anyway, okay, tip for today, I don't know, keep going, take a break, don't listen to advice, do listen to advice, I don't know, it doesn't really matter, does it? Today's tip is, we're all going to die, so pull your finger out and get it done, or not. If it's not really that serious, stop doing it and do something that is, spend your time wisely. As you get older, like me, there's less and less time, so how are you going to spend it? Maybe it's a bit of an ego thing for me, or for any artist. We want to create things that will outlive us, or at least I hope it's good enough that it will, or something that I create is good enough that it will outlive me, other than my children. And I don't mean to say that in a morbid way, but just in a sort of motivational way. We ain't going to be here forever, so, think about what you're doing. I think about that sort of stuff when, there's a debate about, do you write to market or do you write to your muse? Hopefully you can do both, but everybody has to answer that themselves. If you're desperate for money, then write to market. If you want to do something more with it, don't write to market. And in fact, you may find that you write something that you passionately believe in, and it may find a market itself. It may take a while to to find that market. So, you know, it depends what you're in the game for, what you want to get out of it. So I can't really answer that, only you can. But all of that is a bit sort of arty-farty. In the meantime, you have to produce the book. And it is enjoyable writing, but it's also a bit of a slog. And, you know, if you just want to do it for fun, write a short story. But is that satisfying? Maybe, maybe not. I can tell you this, having written 2 novels, it is extremely satisfying when you finish the damn thing. It's in the middle of the first draft, and then in the middle of editing, and at various points you can get a bit worn down, a bit tired of the whole thing. But that moment when you get it in your hands is pretty special. Like, I mean, I got my first novel. It's just happened to be lying there. Half-Life. I mean, and it's just, you know, I can see lots of faults with it, but it's real and it's there, and it'll outlive me when I'm gone. Not that anybody will be still reading it. Well, who knows? Who knows? If nothing else, my kids will have it on their shelf, collecting dust. They can give it to their kids. Grandad wrote that. Who? Anyway. Right. Let's see. Something else to say. I want to give you a book recommendation. If you are interested in Japanese crime fiction, which I am, this lady here, let's get a bit of a glare, Masako Togawa, from the 1960s. She died recently in 2016. She's quite an interesting person, though. She was a cabaret dancer, and then novelist, and apparently gay icon, according to Wikipedia, if that can be believed. She used to have an afro as well. She's Japanese, not afro. Yeah, afro. Yeah, with curly hair. She's an eccentric maybe, and a feminist too. Japanese feminist. Anyway, she wrote pretty good books. This one, The Master Key, is okay. It's a sort of locked room mystery, a bit mystical. The Japanese have a lot of. There's a lot of popular strain of Japanese mysteries are sort of mystical and ghostly and stuff, which I find a bit tedious. But you know, it's there. This one I enjoyed a lot more. The Lady Killer. About I can't remember. It was about what was it? A nightclub. A girl murdered in a nightclub. Or was it a string of girls murdered in a nightclub? Very good. Obviously, she's drawing on her own inspiration and or her own experiences of being a nightclub singer. Written in the 1960s, as I say, but very modern. And yeah, they're a bit puzzly. Solve the puzzle of whodunit. But they're better than that. They're very well written and well translated. So have a look out for these 2 if you are into or want to get into Japanese crime fiction. Right. What else? I was looking for a quote. Another good bloke is John. Hold on. John Harvey. Oh, mind went blank there for a moment. John Harvey writes. He's still around. He's still with us. He's in his 80s, I think. And he wrote the Charlie Resnick novels set in Nottingham. Used to live in Nottingham, and I think he's down in London now. I think he's still writing. He still has a blog that's very good. Anyway, he writes good whodunits. I was looking for a quote. One of the quotes he had one of his characters say is, "Promises are like pie crusts. They're made to be broken." Talk to you tomorrow.